That's right, MBK back in the building. Another episode
We're
for the
back.
hungry masses. Everyone's so hungry for content. Raphael, how are you?
People have been stopping me on the streets, asking me for the next episode of NBK.
That's true.
I cannot leave my home. There are angry fans outside my window.
That is
They'll
absolutely
finally
true.
calm down now that
Well-
we're recording.
People have been throwing tomatoes at me due to my takes on MBK.
But that happened before the podcast, right?
That is
That's just a normal occurrence.
unfortunately that's just you know.
It's
So
just life.
that's just life for me. That's usually how people treat me. Today we're gonna be talking about the World Cup so far. So there's only about four group stage games left. As we're recording, Ghana are playing Croatia and England are playing Panama. And we want to sort of look at the group stages so far. We're going to look at the most interesting teams, tell you how we feel, maybe compare it to our rankings and how we feel the teams are going to do throughout the tournament.
I'm not looking forward to talk about Uruguay, dude. I can tell you that right now. I'm not looking forward to
Let's
that.
just save it because that's the juiciest part of what we have to talk about. Let's start.
My internet's gonna crash out as soon as you get the Uruguay group. The internet's going out, the lights going out, no power.
Okay, let's start with one of the host nations in Mexico. I believe we had Mexico middle of the pack around 20th when we were talking about our rankings. And they did well. They beat Czechia 3-0, they beat South Korea 1-0, and they beat South Africa in the opening game 2-0. Straight off the bat, what I'm thinking about Mexico is I'm going to compare them to how I viewed them in previous World Cups. The floor of this team is higher because of their physicality being better. They're just more physical than they used to be. Number one. Number two, I still think there's a big problem with this team in chance creation. They should have way better chance creation. I know they beat Czechia 3-0. Czechia stink. I mean, maybe we should even talk
That
about...
Czechia team for me is.
Yeah.
I didn't have much expectation for them, but they still disappointed me so much. That was
Czechia...
such a negative team. It was just a depressing team to watch. They only created from set pieces. It was depressing watching Czechia play.
They didn't come to play football. They did not come to play
No.
football. They came with the idea of of scoring set-piece goals through Suchek and Patrick Schick. Patrick Schick, by the way, retires immediately after.
I would.
30 years old. 30 years old, practically, maybe 1 year removed from his peak, and he's retiring because I mean I don't know the details of that, but they're just so depressing. And that's all we need to... By the way, we should not talk anymore. That's all we have about Czechia. They're a depressing team that shouldn't have even been here. That's enough. Back to Mexico, back in the car. Good physically, problems with chance creation. That's the one thing I noticed. The game against South Korea, I think that was the most interesting game they had in the group stage. Because both of the teams were very equal.
Yeah.
Not
What a great game.
It was a very good game. Not a lot of chances in the game. Incredibly close game. You could have... either team winning that game would have been like a normal outcome.
Would it be fair?
Yeah, would have been fair. However, they dug deep, and I think they beat a slightly better team than them. And that's not something Mexico usually do, right? Very rarely do they beat teams that are in and around their level. They find a way to bundle, normal games. So that's what I have to say about this iteration of Mexico.
And they have been very good defensively, right? One of the few teams that hadn't conceded any goals in the World Cup. And Raúl Jiménez is a player we talked about, and I was anxious to see him, but he has been slightly disappointing. But I think the group of Mexico players has been very, very good. Of course, they got the host nation buff, and for Mexico, that's huge. They have amazing fans. They have a lot of passion there, and I think they've been playing above their level, but not so much. But it's something they can maintain. right? Something they can. It will be tough to beat them in the as the World Cup advances. I don't know if you have the next game for them. If it's already decided, I don't think it is, because of all the third place teams. We
Yeah.
have to wait until
Yeah, it's not decided yet.
it's not decided yet, but it will be a tough match for whoever they face.
I like what you said about them having a maintainable level of overperformance. It's like a slight overperformance due to like the quality they have. I like that assessment. Like tactically, they're pretty good. One guy I wanna like talk about is Quinones, who's probably one of the
The
most
Colombian,
Colombia. He's probably one of the most selfish players I've ever seen. Genuinely, like it's unbelievable how this guy, any sort of inch of freedom he gets, he's taking the shot. He took a shot from halfway line. Did you see that? What game it was? The South Korea game, I think. He just got the ball. He didn't beat anyone. He was just in space, and he shot it from almost the halfway line. He shoots the ball every chance he gets it. Good.
he's gonna score a wonder goal for Mexico to beat someone 1-0 in the 8 finals or whatever. But yeah, he's Colombian. He has Mexican nationality, but he was born in Colombia. And here in South America, there is a lot of criticism of Colombian players. They're most of them are called like street ballers, let's say. Because of that, they are very selfish. They do random moves at random times. You just need to watch a Colombian national team to figure that out. But yeah, I like Mexico. I really like Mexico. I think being a host nation when you are not a favorite, when you're not Germany, when you're not Brazil, you're not France, is such a buff.
Yeah.
Compared to like Brazil being a host, it's just pressure, right? We lost 1950s. We're gonna have to win this year in 2014. You know what happened there. We don't need to talk about it. But for a nation like Mexico, the U.S., they have quality. Having that buff is huge.
One final thing I want to say about Mexico is, yeah, as I touched before, their chance creation. The midfield is very workman, like, you know, Gutierrez. Gutierrez looks like a guy who should be better technically, but he really isn't. He looks like he should be a good creator, but I think at this level he really doesn't do enough. But he's neat on the ball and he's good off the ball, which is every single Mexican midfielder. Everyone works for the team. No one is a liability. And the defense is tall and committed. Tall and committed, which means that, you know, usually set pieces, but even more than set pieces, a ball that's going to be hit over the top to a good striker, that's not going to affect this Mexican team. They can deal with that type of physicality. I think that's
and just one more thing. There was I think it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, and not Modric, but Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, maybe someone else. They got a patch on their jersey that says they're played in 5 World Cups. This is their 6th. And Ochoa didn't get one because he got called up in 2010, but he didn't play. And Mexico was arguing that he should have gotten because it is his 6th World Cup, even if he didn't play in 2010. But FIFA didn't agree with them and didn't give him the patch. What do you think? Do you think he should have gotten a patch? He got subbed on at the end of the game against...
Yeah.
I think it was
Czechia.
Czechia, their last game. He got subbed on so the stadium could clap for him and celebrate him, which he deserves, and being a historical keeper for them.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to you about this. When I heard the argument, I wanted to get your opinion on this. Do you think he should have gotten a patch or not?
I mean, when we're fighting about patches, it just says something about the level of ambition that the people... I know that people care about these things, but even as someone from a country that... If I had a Sudanese player that's been to 6 World Cups and he didn't get a patch, I wouldn't even think about it. But that's my personal thing. But if I'm talking about it like less cynically, he didn't play. He didn't play.
Yeah, that was my opinion. I was like, well, it is his sixth call up, but he didn't play one of them, so it's not his sixth appearance in different World Cups. So yeah, okay.
Okay.
We agree.
We can move on to another team in this group. I think South Korea played really well against Czechia in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest problem for them wasn't actually this Mexico game which they lost, even though it was a pretty close game. It was the South Africa game, which I thought was possibly their most disappointing performance. This is a game where they were much better than South Africa. I think they created more as well. They should have scored more. Somehow they didn't score. South Africa also had, to be fair, South Africa had a lot of chances as well. Like it was but I kind of feel like this table isn't a true representation of almost the levels that these, like South Korea are a bit unlucky. That's what I'll say about them. Just a bit unlucky. To be third.
Had a couple of chances that game. I think he had a very clear chance in front of the keeper where he tried to chip the keeper and just missed completely. I think his age showed in this game. I of course he is amazing technically and he's one of the greatest South Korean players ever. But in that game specifically, I was like, dude, what happened? I know age happened, but it was like, what happened? I know he's not playing with the same pace anymore, the same explosiveness, but I was expecting if he got the ball on the box, it should be a goal or a better finish than what he did. And I feel a little bit redeemed because you said I overrated the South African team and they actually qualified second. I was so happy. I think their first game they were extremely nervous, but they improved a lot. And I think this South Korea win, of South Africa beating South Korea, is such a mature win for South Africa and such a disappointing loss for South Korea.
I like the fact that South Africa always played their football every single game. Like in the Mexican game, I thought it went against them a little bit. Like if they were maybe a bit more pragmatic, I think they could have been more dangerous. They would have had more goal scoring opportunities against Mexico if they were a bit more pragmatic rather than they play the same way they play in the South African League. They always want to be on the ball. They're super positive. Sometimes that's not going to work against more organized and just better teams. I like the fact that they beat South Korea because I feel like African teams have done super well this World Cup, and one of them
has been great.
Yeah, yes. This is one of the examples that's very positive because all of them are homegrown. Like they're all playing in the league for the vast majority, except one or two. So I also like the way they played and approached the last two games in the group. What do I have to say about them?
South Korea, as of now, they are qualifying, but there is the last place of the third rankings, the weird qualified.
Yeah.
But they have a very big chance of going out.
Yes.
Algeria, sorry.
Yeah.
I read the name in Portuguese. They still have a chance of overtaking them, so they might go through, which they don't deserve to. With all honesty, they don't deserve to. But it is very easy for them to just go out. In Congo, if they beat Uzbekistan, which should happen, South Korea will be out.
Yes. Apart from, I just don't know what they're gonna do more. I like the way that they're positive. Hugo Bros, a good win for him, the manager. Number four for South Africa in midfield. He's so funny. Or is it number 4 or number 5? Where is he? There's a central midfielder that always makes me laugh because he's good on the ball. Everything about him is really good, but there's some aggression when he loses the ball. Like it's so bad for his team sometimes. Let me just get his name because I forgot his name. Mokoena.
Mokoena?
Yeah. He scored against Czechia in the penalty. And I think he got a yellow card and he couldn't play in the last game against South Korea.
But I think he's been their best player.
Yeah. He's their best player. But that's part of the thing that's pulling me back is their best player has a bit of a level of immaturity about him, which is fine.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Mokoena was one of my favorite players to sign on Football Manager. I think 22 or 23 because he was cheap. He wasn't in Mamelodi. He was in Super Sports, and he had 2 concentration on his stats. Most of his stats was 10, 11, 12, except concentration was 2, and that was always so funny to me because I just picture him on the pitch just looking at the butterflies and looking at the sky and then remember my plane and running off. He has been very good this World Cup.
That 2 concentration really typifies him to concentration. Another guy that's been super disappointing is Mofo King, who's really talented, a really talented player. African Champions League, he's also talented. He's always talented. Even South Africa in AFCON, was it? I remember him being a bit good as well. Hasn't been good at all when he came on. Let's move on though, because there's a lot of teams we can talk about.
And just one more thing, the South Africa-Canada game. Yeah, we're connected.
Yeah. South Africa, Canada, so we can talk about the next host nation, Canada. And they...
I think the game's tomorrow, right? The day for you is...
Yeah.
It's the only game on Sunday, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for Canada. I believe I said in the rankings that they're an exciting team, the way they play. And they showed it in their games. The first game against Bosnia, we'll talk about when we talk about them. They were just staying back, and Canada were the ones with all the impetus, and they finally scored through Laren. Laren was angry that he wasn't chosen as a starter, and he was the starter in the next game against Qatar. I like Canada because they're energetic. Football is the 4th biggest sport, I think, in Canada. First is hockey. I think second might be baseball or basketball, whatever. So second or third, baseball, basketball, and then they have lacrosse as well. So the fact that their team can be exciting and forward thinking like this and competent should be really good for Canadians in general. The game against Qatar completely imploded, but they imploded because of the amount of pressure that Canada put them under. Specific players, unfortunate for Ismaila Kone, his broken...
Oh yeah, that was a freak injury.
Yeah, his broken leg horrific injury. I think Jesse Marsh said something that I completely agree with. Canada is a perfectly imperfect team, in everything they do. They always try to be front-footed, but they're just not that good. They're not good technically. They're not good in other aspects. But it's always there. It's always their mentality. And he typified that. Ismaila Kone. He typified that type of play. So I really liked him. I really like Buchanan, who's a really good player in his own right. David scores, and Laren is a good target man, and their defense honestly holds them back.
And I think Saliba has also been very surprising. He's been very good. in these games. Of course, the it's weird to talk about them because their game against Bosnia wasn't that great, and also their last game against Switzerland. But and they destroyed Qatar in the middle, so it's weird to rank them. But I think they have a very good draw with South Africa.
Yes.
It should be a great match because
They're equal.
any one of them can win.
Yeah.
It's a very equal game. It's a very fair game. So I think they got. I don't know if you can say it's lucky for them, but they got a good match. They got a good next match.
The other teams in this group, what I'm gonna say is Qatar. Only one sentence is enough. I said before, they might have been the worst team in the tournament. They're probably not. They have some things like Akram Afif is really good technically. He's so good. And Haidous, when he came out in the third game, again he provides a technical thing. The thing that was, I think, bit them was Lopetegui, how he set up against Canada. He played Abdul Razak and Milson, and the way they played, it gave them no option going forward, which meant that they were always under pressure. When Qatar wins the Asian Cup, they've won the last two. They play Akram Afif and Moaz Ali as the two strikers, and the danger they put on the defense makes it so that the team has a bit ability to breathe, right? Akram Afif playing as a winger, you're not gonna get much out of it. What's he gonna do? He's gonna give it to a guy that can't hold the ball. He's always gonna, even if he plays the perfect patch, which he does a lot of the times, it's not gonna stick. It's not gonna stick to the striker. So yeah, Lopetegui got the second game all wrong, but in general they just don't have the ability to even
the quality.
Yeah, they don't have the quality. Bosnia and
They are
Herzegovina.
the worst team because Tunisia exists.
I think they're worse than Tunisia, man. Yeah, but player for player. I know Tunisia like combusted, but
There was horrible World Cup.
Okay, Bosnia, Bosnia, they're so attritional and boring. That's all I have to say about them, honestly. Jekyll, the last game, he was really angry about being taken off against Qatar because that Qatar game, despite the fact that it ended 3-1, wasn't actually a 3-1 game. It was actually a pretty close game because Qatar were kind of fighting for their lives. They had a chance when it was like 2-1 to make it 2-2. I think it was like it hit the post from Pedro. It shouldn't have been a close game. It's a close game because of the way Bosnia play. Bosnia play in a very negative way. They don't take advantage of some of the really skilled players they have. They do have skilled players. They just don't take advantage of them because they want to sit back all the time and sort of choose their time to attack and also attack with from the set pieces. You have anything to say about Bosnia?
Also, depressing team. I think the bottom tier of European teams have been very disappointing this World Cup.
Yes.
Czechia, Bosnia. I know Europe it is a richer continent. It has a lot of countries. They had more teams in the tournament. But I think the way African teams are playing and the way European teams are playing, you kind of want the next World Cup to switch that a little.
I agree.
Maybe only get the top European teams and then fill the rest of the World Cup, their spots with African teams.
I agree.
Because we don't need Czechia, we don't need Bosnia. Playing like this, at least in the World Cup.
Last thing is Switzerland. Switzerland got through this by default, in my opinion. If this was any other group, they would have been out because they didn't play well. They have 2 wins and they just it's crazy, but they actually didn't play well. Against
that draw with Qatar was horrible.
Yeah, they were so bad. They gave up. They didn't give up. They were arrogant. I think they were like, okay, it's Qatar. It's hot, so we're not gonna. It looked like it was hot, and they were like, okay, we're not gonna. It's gonna be a long World Cup. We know we're gonna go deep into it, so we're not gonna expend any energy. Yeah, that was embarrassing performance. Then they beat 4-1 Bosnia. They beat it again. It was just a bit like it was by default this game again. This was their best performance. I remember this game was like 1-0 until the 70th or something like that. Yeah. It was 0-0 or something, and then Manzambi scored, and then beyond the 80th, a lot of goals started coming in. I like Manzambi. He looks exciting.
Yeah.
Looks like an
one of the
exciting.
few good spots for them.
Yeah. Mbolo doesn't look as good as he used to be. Ndoye, what the hell happened to Ndoye? I don't even know what happened to him. He doesn't look good at all. He looked good in the last Euros. Xhaka looks fine. He looks fine. Just fine. And they have a competent defense. Again, they're always going to be organized, I think. Whoever they're going to play against next. I mean, yeah, nothing else to say. I think we should just move on.
It is still not decided who Switzerland is going to play. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Canada faces South Africa. Bosnia is probably going to advance as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're going to play the US. They should get rinsed. They should have no chance. But
Yeah, Bosnia are gonna play the US.
Switzerland, we're still waiting.
We're gonna have a prediction video, and we're gonna talk about those. Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, Haiti. Now let's start with Haiti and then go to the big ones. Haiti was like
They play well.
they played well. Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. The game against Scotland. I don't know if you watched this game.
Amazing game.
I mean, it was an amazing game.
Amazing game.
Scotland, I hate the fact that they won this game. It really annoyed me because
It should have been a draw.
it
should have been a draw.
It should have been a draw. Exactly. Scotland stole something very important from us here. And then against Brazil were they were just a better team. Like,
Just better.
yeah, just better. And then against Morocco, this game was insane. Like, this game was so end to end. So much stuff was happening in this game, and it was down to the bravery, the brave way Haiti play. They play very brave, extremely fearless, on the front foot. They're putting all the pressure on the opposing team. That's how they scored their goals, and that's how they kept it. Like, they're gonna leave with nothing in this World Cup, right?
Very undeserving. Very undeserving.
To me, like, if I was Haitian, I'd feel more proud of that than if I was Qatar. You know? Or any or Czechia, for example, a better thing than Qatar. They really, like, if they really made their country proud, in my opinion, for the level of player that they had at their disposal.
That game against Brazil, I think, was the most. It was just an impossible game for them. The technical difference is just too big. But the game against Scotland, I was so mad they didn't get a point. They really, really deserved the point. Scotland deserved nothing for them again.
Yeah, Scotland deserved
And the
nothing.
game against Morocco is one of the few games I didn't watch because I was out watching the Brazil game at the same time against Scotland. So I didn't watch the game, but seeing this, I think Haiti went on top, then Morocco scored, and Haiti went on top again, then Morocco scored, and then Morocco they're a better team, right? So 0 points is predictable.
Yeah.
If you look at the group and you look at if you didn't watch any of the games, you're like, okay, Haiti with 0 points, Scotland with 3, that's a fair group. But watching the games, you really, really wish Haiti got a point against Scotland. They really deserve.
And that's good because it brings up Scotland, who these guys, we both said before that these guys are just going to be disappointing. And they play in a disappointing way. They have good...
Again, another team that should open a spot for an African team.
Yeah, I agree.
We don't need this Scotland team.
I agree. They have good fans, by the way. They have good fans, but stop using your fans as a mallet on my head. Okay, you have good fans. Okay. Oh, okay. Your football stinks. It's so bad. It's so bad because the bravery that Haiti has, Scotland has none of it. That's what's so
Yeah.
annoying about Scotland football. Scotland football is so conservative. Scottish football is so conservative. I don't even feel like talking about them, honestly. Like, the game against Morocco was really boring. They deserved nothing from the game against Brazil. Oh my god, it should have been 5-0.
No, that was
It should have been
that
6-0.
was, that
game.
goal that they took from Vini Jr. The second goal should have stood. That was. Yeah, we can move on. Johnny McGinn, I was expecting more from him. I think McTominay did what McTominay can do. He's also not a player that can impose himself on the game, except physically. You know, he can occupy spaces, play the Fellaini role going forward. But I was expecting a little bit more from McGinn, and I didn't see very much from him. And it's just not a good team.
Yeah, just not a good team. However, we move on to an actual good team, which was Morocco, who started off this World Cup with a really good game against Brazil. 1-1 against Brazil. That game was, again, it was close, but then both teams almost decided that like a draw was the best, almost. Like,
Yeah.
Morocco said, we're not gonna try more. This is good enough for us. We know we're gonna beat the other two teams. And Brazil said, if we leave ourselves a bit more exposed, these guys can actually beat us on the counter-attack. Morocco...
It was a professional result.
Professional result, exactly. Morocco, the guys I want to talk about is... Obviously, everyone has talked about him, but we talked about him before the World Cup started, which is Bouadi. Bouadi is... It's actually insane to think that this guy is 18 years old. He's 18? He's 18 and he's actually, like, that game against Brazil, he did make a little bit of like small mistakes, but he was so good. Like, under pressure, he's good. He escapes the press. He moves the ball forward. He gets into the tackle, like, physically to be powerful enough to fight against guys like Casemiro. I know he's old, but he's still strong. Like, he's a grown man. And you don't look like you're off of, you're not off it. A lot of 18-year-olds, they look like they're off it when you give them a physical challenge. No, he looks pretty strong. And he has the technical ability as well. Amazing player. Hakimi has done well. Who else has done well? Mazraoui playing as a left back.
Everybody has done well. Yassini has done well.
Yes. The one guy before the World Cup I talked about was Saibari, and I thought he wasn't going to do well because of his... Dutchness, but he's actually been really...
Yeah, he scored 3 goals, right? So yes.
He's been really good. My problem with Morocco is their striker. They don't have a traditional number 9, but Saibari is playing as a channel running. He's a forward essentially.
Yeah,
and he's fast and he's clinical, which is a very, very dangerous element you can have to this team. It fits the way they play.
Especially how this team plays.
Yeah.
They don't really need a traditional number 9. That goal against Brazil, I think that is the goal they want to score against anyone in the World Cup. Just the ball to Brahim Diaz, great player, playing well, and he can just pinpoint these passes to Saibari. I think they play Holland next. I think Holland should be very careful of this Morocco team. I think Morocco can beat them.
I agree.
And especially with these kind of goals, this kind of plays. And I need to thank you for talking so much about Bouadi, because I didn't know about him. I don't follow French football. And after the game against Brazil, I was already impressed. And the rest of the games of Morocco, I was just looking for him.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, let's see, let's watch this kid closely. And oh my God, what a player. I'm reading links to Real Madrid, to Arsenal, and it's very well deserved. He's incredible for his age.
Unahi and El Khanous and El Ainawi, all these guys, they're really good technically, and they all play good for the team, like committed. Usually for Morocco, I'm not talking about the 2022. I'm talking about older teams. You'd have guys that are very talented but not committed. They have a problem with committing to the team. But this team, everyone has a pretty high level of commitment. That's why I can see this team again going pretty deep. What's the problems?
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about them is their center back duo.
Yes.
I do not trust Diop or Ria.
Yes.
I do not trust either of them.
Agerd,
So I think that's...
Yeah, Agerd is a very big loss. He was injured before the tournament, and he was probably gonna be him and one of them. You think like he'd kind of carry them because he's very experienced. I think we covered Morocco pretty well. Brazil. Brazil.
I'm thankful for that first game because Ancelotti got into this World Cup thinking of playing a 4-2-4, and that game against Morocco just showed that wasn't going to cut it. Casemiro, he's a great player, but right now he doesn't have the legs to play the defensive midfield role by himself. And after switching to a 4-1-2-3 with Bruno Guimarães and Paquetá playing ahead of Casemiro, but being able to track back and help. It helped a lot Paquetá. He's much better going forward than defending. He has been amazing the game against Scotland, the game against Haiti. Same with Bruno Guimarães. So I'm thankful that our first game was also the harder game of the group, and that allowed such a experience. And I can spend ages talking about Ancelotti here. And that allowed him to adapt the team. The game against Haiti, Brazil could have won by any score we won. We scored 3-0, and it is an Ancelotti thing of, okay, we have the lead, let's hold on. He's a very pragmatic manager, and I think that's very good for a World Cup. We don't need Marcelo Bielsa inventing things. And the game against Scotland, my God, that game was... At some point in the game, it looked like adults playing children.
Yes.
For Brazil.
Yes.
They didn't look to be the same level. And Vini Jr., this is it's ridiculous.
Vini is playing prime Vini right now. This is like...
Yeah, this is the best version of Vini we have ever seen.
Like, I remember, when was it? The Ballon d'Or, the Champions League run in that Ballon d'Or year?
2024?
Yeah, I think in the Champions League he was going insane. That's the same, but he's so sharp. He's unbelievably sharp. Like everything about him is like perfect right now.
Yeah.
His finishing is perfect, his timing is perfect, he's hungry off the ball. He's a perfect player for for a team. For anything. Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see a team that'll be like, we'd rather have somebody else.
No, he's a perfect player.
My God. And it's so crazy because I, of course, being a Flamengo fan, I was watching him, 16-year-old, coming onto the pitch and barely knowing what to do with his legs. You could see the speed was there, you could see the brains, the technical ability was there, but he couldn't finish to save his life, and now he's the most clinical player in this Brazil side. Matheus Cunha has been very good, much better than Nico Thiago, more mobile, creates more dangers. Ryan also very, very good. I didn't expect him to keep his level from Vasco to the Premier League, because of course Vasco is a bottom tier team in Brazil as of now.
He has an insane goal scoring rate when he came to Bournemouth.
It seemed like he was born in the Premier League. It's crazy. If you look at the goals, he's as fast and as strong as everybody else.
Honestly,
which is normally the biggest point.
I don't believe his age. Like, there has to be. There's no way he's 19 years old. The way he plays, it's crazy how well. And he's playing well as well in the World Cup. But what I would say about
Danilo at right back,
that's
also brings so much calmness to the team.
I was gonna say.
I don't know if his interviews reach the English-speaking world, but he speaks so well. He's so calm. He's so smart. And I fell in love with him when we joined Flamengo, but right now it's just like, dude, you are amazing.
I was gonna say that
I don't see a hole in the Brazilian team.
Ibanez was the hole that I saw, and it was filled up by Danilo. However, I do think that if you play against a really good left winger, he might again maybe They'd attack. They'd attack
For a
down
little bit
that.
on pace.
Yeah, they would attack down that lane. But still,
Yeah.
Brazil. I think we need to see them against a better team. Like, again, you know, the Morocco game. I know they're the best team here, but the teams decided not to play. Is what I'm saying. Like in a knockout game against a good team, I want to see what happens.
Should be Japan.
Should be Japan.
Japan easily.
Yeah, should be Japan.
Are we gonna talk about Neymar, or are we just gonna skip it?
Oh, Neymar. Yeah, I was so happy when he came on. That's all I care about anyway. I just want to see him play football. Like, that's all. I love Neymar because I love football. That's why I love him. Like, I love football so much that when a baller comes on, I literally don't care. Like, I don't even support Barcelona. I veer towards Real Madrid. Barcelona and Madrid. But by the way, if you live in the Middle East or anywhere around Africa, that's the question. It doesn't matter what team you actually support. It's Barcelona or Real Madrid. You know, you have to have one of them, and it's been Real Madrid for me. But Neymar it's like he's so good. Like, you cannot hate how the level when he played at Real Madrid. That Santos, when he was coming up at Santos, I was watching games. I remember I was in grade 11. I was 16. I was watching Santos games because of Neymar, because of how great he was. So I just want to watch him play. That's all.
It's funny because I remember the first time I saw Neymar, he was 14. It was one of those end of year games where they play like friends of Ronaldinho against friends of Roberto Carlos. I don't remember exactly who was the game, but for charity and stuff. And that was probably he's a year older than me, so if he was 14, I was 13. Right, and I didn't have anything better to do than watch a friendly game between old heads play. And I remember the commentator was like, okay, here comes a 14-year-old kid who's probably going to be Brazil's next star. And Neymar comes on, and he's skinny now, imagine at 14.
Yeah.
And he was just killing them. He was just killing them. It was like, oh my God, this guy is good. But of course, in Brazil, we see hundreds of those at that age.
Yeah.
Right, but keeping that level throughout not his whole career, but most of his career. It's great, but I don't see him being useful in hard knockout games.
I think
he looked very out of shape against Scotland. He lost a bit a lot. He couldn't fight passes. He couldn't hold on to the ball. He couldn't dribble. He was slow. I don't see him being useful.
I honestly, I'm gonna say it now. I honestly think he's gonna do something against Japan. I think that Japan game is gonna be tight until the 70th minute or something. It's gonna be like 1-1, or maybe Brazil is winning slightly, and he'll come on, and because of the physicality of the Japanese players, so like he might do something. That's the only game I think he's gonna have an effect on in the knockouts.
I'm scared that he's gonna get the ball in the midfield
and lose it.
Still think he's prime Neymar and try to dribble and lose it. I don't know if you see that short. It's about Adel Tarabat.
Yeah.
One of his managers said that he will find him if he got the ball past the halfway line. And he will find the whole team if they got him. I need Ancelotti to say it. I need Ancelotti to go to everybody. Listen, if you pass the ball to Neymar close to the midfield, I'm going to kill you. And I think then he has a chance to do something. If Vini finds a pass to him and he's playing as a forward, he's so smart, so technical. In one touch, he can give it back to Vini, give it to Ryan, Mateus Cunha, Paquetá, whatever. But I need him as far away as humanly possible around the midfield.
Okay.
And again, Ancelotti, I know you're a fan.
He is a fan, yeah, because we never mention Endrick, and neither does he. And let's keep the never mentioning Endrick train going, and talk about USA, Australia, Paraguay, and Turkey.
Should we start with the biggest disappointment?
Yes, let's start with Turkey. And
horrible.
Yes,
horrible.
These guys are so bad. I had such a like when I was like rating the teams and ranking them, and thinking about Turkey, I was like, there's something very wrong about this team. Like when I watched them play in their friendlies and leading up to it, attacking wise, there's a bit of nothingness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yes, there's good technical players, but what the hell are they doing? They're actually not doing anything if you watch them play, and because they don't have a focus, like It's not focus. It's like, okay, it's not like we're gonna get the ball down the flank and cut back. There's nothing. We're not getting the ball to a striker that's gonna maybe do something or lay off the ball or do something. Nope. We're not playing for set pieces because they're horrible at set pieces. We're
Even though
literally
they have Chalanoglu, we should make at least decent in set pieces, because you can choose where the ball is going to go, and the ball is going to go there 90% of the time. So the harder thing is done. You just need to create the movement.
The biggest problem with this team is that their lack of focus. They don't have a good attacker. They don't even have good forwards. They have Arda Güler, and Arda Güler, again, we said it. He has
Amazing.
He's amazing technically, but he's a problem that he's just physically. You can get to him. Like, if you play well physically, he's not going to be as effective. Against Australia, like, Australia scored, like, bungled in 2 goals, and Turkey were the team that were in control, and they couldn't do anything about it. Against Paraguay, I mean, this was a crazy game. Again, Turkey.
They go back with 1 minute.
Yeah.
And then the dumbest player ever gets sent off.
Yeah.
And they cannot do anything. We see their 2 goals, expected goals. That's a lie.
Yes, because none of the it's because expected goals is like it's like an accumulated, it's taking all these shots. Like, you can see all these shots on the screen. There's so many shots from outside.
Shots.
Yeah. But none of them are actually like really good chances. Like, how many is this 5 big chances missed? That's even not true. That wasn't really that true. I would say maybe like 2 big chances in this game. Again, they just have I wish they had just one good striker that could have focused everything. Focused everything about the attack. It was super embarrassing. I know.
Yeah, and the last game against America, against the US, doesn't count.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think the US played the reserve team, and Turkey finally was like, okay, guys, maybe we should play a little bit of football in this World Cup.
Also, it's the game that they dominated the least, which tells you a bit something.
Yeah.
Like, you can be effective. Obviously, you can be effective without dominating. But this game, they scored a goal in the last possible moment. Even in this game, it's funny to say, but I genuinely think US played better. US played better than them. What do I think would happen? Montella has to go. He just has to go. Yeah. And they have to figure something out and figure out a way to get a proper attacker in the setup, because Arda Güler and Kenan Yildiz, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? These are like 2 elite playmakers. They're genuinely elite. Like, Kenan Yildiz is so good. He's a top target for.
He was the only guy in attacking Turkey that was like, okay, this guy can create something out of nothing. He's a guy worth passing the ball to. He can get you something. But he's also not a striker, right?
No. Kenan Yildiz,
more of a winger.
He's like he's a modern day 10, which 10s don't exist now. They're just forwards, come from the sides, 10 from the side.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, these guys are like, the level is so high that you should build a team around them and give them a proper striker. Yilmaz played the last game. He scored and assisted, but I think he can be better. And the rest of the team as well. The defense is horrible. We should have probably started with that. Their defense is really, really bad. They don't have good defenders. I think that's all. You have anything else?
Yeah, another team that should have opened a spot for an African team.
No, I think I think their quality.
4 groups.
I think Turkey, what I would say is that they have better quality up front than the other teams we talked about. They're just unfortunate that things didn't, the proper mixture wasn't found to give them success. But let's move and talk about Paraguay, a team that we talked about pretty positively before. But I think despite the fact that they're going to go forward are a bit disappointing. At least for me, they're a bit disappointing, especially in their first game against USA, where I think they were shambolic, honestly. honestly think they were shambolic that game. They looked like they weren't on it at all. It looked like it was a training match. They were chasing shadows throughout the entire game. They were very slow. Turkey, lucky to win. Honestly.
Just
And then,
a defensive job, just park the bus.
yeah, parked the bus. And then against Australia, honestly, I watched this game. Australia deserved to win. Australia were the team trying to get a goal. They're just disappointing. Honestly,
Yeah, because this game was weird. This game was weird because both teams would go through if they drew. So it felt like Australia wanted to win, and Paraguay wanted to be like, dude, chill.
Yeah,
We
chill.
both go through if we draw, just chill. But yeah, it was disappointing. I think a lot of teams, they play their best game in the World Cup, the first game of the World Cup, because they're like getting all this hype and all this energy, and they're like, okay, finally the World Cup. It's like climbing the Everest. You reach the top, right? You use all your energy to reach the top. You use all your energy on the first game. I think that was the case for the US and the opposite for Paraguay. And it was a boring game against Australia, but their win against Turkey shows what they can be defensively. And they can be tough to break down. They can be hard. They got experienced players. But they get Germany next. So Germany lost to Ecuador. So it shows that they're not that good. But it'll be very hard for Paraguay. Very hard for Paraguay.
Australia next. I genuinely think it's a really historic achievement to beat Turkey in the way that they did. Because 2-0 against Turkey is very good, especially for the level of Australian football in comparison to Turkish football throughout history. Then they go on to lose against USA. This game, again, they were, if I remember correctly, watching this game, they were sort of competitive, but brushed aside ultimately by the USA. And the last...
There's a level difference there.
Yes. And the last game, obviously, they drew with Paraguay. What I will say about Australia is I think they maximize the ability that they have at their disposal. And
For sure.
the fact that they got second place in a group like this, arguably, if Turkey wasn't gonna get it, Paraguay should have gotten it. When you look at this blindly, it should have been with the talent and disposal. I mean. It should have been Australia bottom. So they got to second, and they get a really good, for them maybe, from their point of view, Egypt in the next round. So far, so good for Australia.
I think that game against Turkey is their perfect game. Of the way they should play and the way they will get the result. The goal by Iran Kundar, Turkey was playing much better, and then suddenly Iran Kundar had a chance. He's also a very random player. We're talking about Quinones, and Iran Kundar is one of the players that I love watching, because sometimes he looks classy. He looks great. He can dribble. Some other time he just dribbles the player, he just falls down. He just lacks the balance and he just misses the ball, and it's so infuriating watching him. But that game against Turkey was his perfect game, right? Playing fast, playing on the wing, getting the ball, cutting inside, shooting, and maybe scoring. So if they can replicate that game against Turkey, going forward against Egypt, they will be dangerous. But yeah.
Moving on to the protagonists of this group and the antagonists of the world, the USA. They play amazing football. I genuinely think they play the best football in the group stage. That's my honest opinion. Just a football lover, nothing else. Just looking at the football. I think they played amazing against Paraguay. I think they ripped them apart. I think Paraguay were almost punched in the face by how fast and technically proficient the USA was. Then against Australia, it looked like men against boys, honestly. It looked like USA didn't even go to the final gear, and they kind of just brushed Australia aside. And then they lost against in Turkey against a game they knew they were first anyway. And even in that,
they played their backups.
Even in this game, you could see them winning. Like they could have possibly with their backup team, they could have won against a team that was desperate to do something. And Pulisic came on in this game, by the way, and was amazing. He came on and like was really good. Like Pulisic is so good. It's crazy how Pulisic is like genuinely playing in his prime right now in this World Cup. Like they genuinely need him to play this level. What do I want to say about them? I think I said like the way they played against Paraguay is the way they're gonna play.
I don't think they can repeat that performance.
I think they can. Honestly, I think they can.
I don't think they can. I think that was a perfect storm of like hosting a World Cup game, playing that first game, and all that energy and all that. And Pulisic was amazing. Balogun was amazing. The whole team was amazing. I don't think they can play like that. Well, I think they get close to that level. It's not like everybody in the team had a life game, but I don't think they're gonna play that well again in this World Cup.
So the reason I think it's a repeatable game is because the way they played is predicated on a tactical level rather than a almost a randomness of guys just playing at their peak. You know what I mean? There's a thought behind the way they played, and it was a tactical mastery of Paraguay. Like they Pochettino put the team in a position where it looked at Paraguay's weaknesses and exposed them. And I think they can repeat that against certainly maybe the two next upcoming teams, Bosnia and maybe the one after it if they beat Bosnia. Repeatability. Pulisic, I think it's repeatable. McKenzie, I think it's repeatable. Serginho Dest, not so, but the idea is repeatable, as in a guy that is technically good enough to be up there and combines with McKennie. Sorry, I said McKenzie. McKennie. Malik Tillman, repeatable, really good technically. And then in the one I think, isn't repeatable is Balogun, honestly.
No way.
Yeah, Balogun is the one that if he does, good for him. I'm not hating on him. I want him to play well. I don't have any reason to hate him anyway. But I just don't think it's repeatable because he is like what is he? He's not a striker. He's a perfect poacher.
Striker.
He's a poacher. He's like the prototypical poacher.
Okay. You mean striker as the role, not the position?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay.
But the role, like he's not a striker, as in he can't hold up the ball. He can't play with his back. He can't play with his back towards the goal, and he can't bring in others that well. Like he can pass the ball and he can dribble, but it's not his role. I mean, he seems like an extremely aggressive channel runner who always wants to be on the back of defenders in that split second. Yeah. So he seems like a poacher, like a 100% poacher. And he's not that great at finishing, which is why I don't think it's repeatable, even though he has goals.
It's for a poacher, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he's a poacher that isn't.
It's the one thing you need to be excellent at.
Yeah. So Adams repeatable. I think Tyler Adams is really good, and their defense is pretty solid with Freeman, Richards, and Ream, and Anthony Robinson there, who's really good as well. So that's what I think. They have a Freeze. I think he hasn't been really tested, but let's see what happens in the knockout games. So this is a good point of contention. I think it's repeatable. You don't, and let's see what happens in the next games for USA. Let's move on to Group E. with Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. And let's start with Curacao. And their biggest achievement here is the draw against Ecuador, which is just an insane result. Curacao have a population, I believe, of 156,000 or 165,000, one of them, whatever. Insane to draw with a country that has the footballing abilities of Ecuador 0-0. I thought before this result, I genuinely thought that their greatest achievement was going to be scoring against
Germany.
Yeah, when they scored, I went crazy when they scored that goal. I went insane. And then they promptly lose against Ivory Coast. I mean, that's all I have to say about Curacao. Honestly, good.
That draw that they got against Ecuador is the draw Haiti should have gotten against Scotland.
Yeah,
Haiti should have ended at 1 point. Curacao should have ended at 1 point. Even though that game against Ecuador, it was mostly the biggest weakness Ecuador have is scoring goals, and that game was just ridiculous. The chances that Ener Valencia missed was infuriating. Ecuador should have won this game, realistically. It wasn't like a defensive masterclass by Curacao. Their goalkeeper had the game of his life.
Yeah.
And that was it. And Ecuador have Ener Valencia up front.
Eloy Room. Yeah. Eloy Room and...
I would have wished that on my worst enemy. Not even Arsenal. I wouldn't want to see Valencia up top, even for Arsenal.
Worst enemies. It's crazy that your worst enemies Arsenal. Anyway, that's just insane.
No, it's just because we have to create a rivalry.
Okay, yeah.
Here. Okay. But going to Ecuador, I think, of course, that game against Ivory Coast, I think they should have gotten a better result. They had like 2 or 3 shots on the post.
Okay.
That game against Curacao, they should have won.
Okay, so let's talk about Ecuador and Ivory Coast together at the same time. Because I disagree in this game. I think Ivory Coast were the better team. Like they had more chances, and they created more, and they were just better. They were just better than Ecuador. Ecuador have a serious chance creation problem. It's so bad. They can't pass. At times, it genuinely looks like they can't pass, which is unbelievable to me. Like if I look at this midfield, and I wish we were watching the games in live time, but there were times when Plata or Menda would get the ball and they cannot do anything with it. They look like deers, slipping around. And Hincapié plays...
But that's just Plata. That's the way Plata plays. He's best and he's worse. That's just... I watch every game, right? That's just who he is. You need to love him for who he is.
Also, Caicedo, again, it's exactly what we said, literally what we said in our ranking. Caicedo, when he's not on it, technically, it's tough. It's actually tough to watch. And at times, I don't think he was on it technically. Like, he can be at a higher technical level than he showed here. And on the flip side, you flip it upside down, and you look at Franck Kessié. Franck Kessié is not... He's down here in his career, and Caicedo is up here. But he's providing a much higher technical level for his team. When you look at him, he gets the ball and he's putting in a really nice pass towards the attacker or the striker. The pass, the quality of the pass is really important in international football because you don't get that much space, you don't get that much time. So if you have the good quality pass and it's in the proper rhythm, properly at the foot that the attacker wants it to be, it makes a big difference. And that's where I like Ivory Coast much more than I like Ecuador. They have technical level that is higher than Ecuador's in a lot of positions, in my opinion. And I'm just disappointed by Ecuador. They're really.
And then they beat Germany.
Yeah, but again, okay, we can talk about. So we'll continue on Ecuador here. They beat Germany. In that Germany game, to me, Germany weren't playing. They just refused to play. I think they stopped playing. They kind of. So what happened was the lineup. They didn't start with their. They started with their best story, and then he took them off. He took off who? He took off Havertz. Yeah, he took off Havertz, and he took off Kimmich. That was the one. The one that changed. To
Is
me,
Kim injured?
I don't know. I thought the commentator said something. Like I haven't read anything. I'm assuming he's fine. But he took off Kimmich, and taking off Kimmich, they have a problems with their fullbacks. They don't have a proper, actually a right back. Kimmich actually he plays in the midfield when he even though he sometimes starts at right back, he plays in the midfield. And in Mitchell had a horrific game. He couldn't do anything with the ball. He couldn't do anything with the ball. Pavlovic was also bad. So I think what Nagelsmann did is he just took them off and he's like, okay, come on, this game is gonna be whatever happens. These guys aren't playing well and the level isn't there. That's what I think happened here. The level for the German team wasn't there. On the other side, flip side, Ecuador were fighting for their lives. They were fighting for their lives, and they still weren't good enough, which was so funny. That's what I thought. Like that's what the game looked to me. It was a good game in the last 20 minutes, but to me, it felt like Germany weren't full throttle because they were thinking about injuries and exertion and things like that. That's what it looked to me like. That's what I got from it. And Ecuador looked like a team really fighting for it, but fighting against their technical proficiency or lack thereof. What do you think?
Yeah, like obviously Germany weren't playing for anything, right? But I still think they wanted to win, and I think Nagelsmann needs to figure something out with Harvard, Sane, and Undav. I think is the name of the backup striker. He's very strong. He's a massive dude. And I think in a World Cup, you need that kind of guy. He didn't play well against Ecuador, but he's scored most of their goals against Ivory Coast. And I don't think Sane has it anymore, dude. I just don't think Sane has it anymore. And even though he scored in this game, it was his only good moment.
He wasn't good. He wasn't good. This is a fake
And Harvard's, I think you can even play him as a keeper. He should probably be better than Neuer right now as a keeper. He can do just about anything. And I think moving forward, they should drop Sane, move Harvard or Musiala or Wirtz, move them around and have Undav up front. I think they have too much quality within those four, and insisting on Sane, I think it just brings them down. And man, is it sad to watch Neuer because he's washed. Some of the goals he's conceding, some of the saves he's even making, you are always like, dude, you used to make this look easy. Now you look like you're struggling.
Well, the Americans love when he makes a save, they go crazy. Americans have this thing with goalkeepers making saves. I don't know why they love like easily like understandable segments or something. Like they love saves or something. Every time he made a save, they're like, "Oh, that's gonna be in SportsCenter" or something to that effect. Or, when it's just a normal save. You said it's sad to see Manuel Neuer. I love seeing his decline. Hated this guy. Hated him. I honestly hate him. I remember when he played for Schalke. He first came into the Champions League.
Oh, that was eons ago.
Yeah, remember when he played at Schalke? Stankovic scored a goal from the halfway line because he made the stupid...
Oh, I remember that. Beautiful volley. First time volley.
Yeah, and I remember being so mad when he chose to go to Bayern Munich. Other than that, he has typical, is my camera really close type comments, if you get what I mean. If you just look at the camera right now, he has those types of comments,
Okay.
I just don't like him. I think he's arrogant.
What happened to Ter Stegen?
His level went down.
I generally do not know. I don't follow
Barcelona. I think his level is just it went down.
Okay.
The guy that was doing their thing was it Bauman, I think?
Mhm.
Bauman. He's alright, but it doesn't matter. I don't think he matters that much. I think the most important thing is their what you said, Sane. Sane is not good enough, and he's probably the guy they look at in attack. It should be Wirtz, but sometimes I think Wirtz doesn't do enough.
I never saw what made Liverpool look at first and be like, okay, this is the guy who would spend 100 million euros.
He was scoring.
I don't see it.
130 million euros, like an insane fee.
Okay, that's.
He was scoring and assisting for that Bayer Leverkusen team. But I don't get it either, because Bundesliga they play like children, They play like kids. No one is there to defend properly. There's no structure to the teams. There's a lot of space, and when you have a lot of space, these good technical players are gonna shine. So I honestly, I don't want to be a hater. Wirtz was nice, but he's not 130 million pounds. Nice,
No.
not even close. No. I think they were worried that City were gonna get him. That's why. That's probably the most. The most thing.
And in Mecha, he had an amazing first 2 games.
Yeah.
And I thought for me he was their best player so far. But that game against Ecuador, he was just horrible. And Rudiger and Jonathan Tah, they also don't give me any confidence.
They're both doing bozo stuff. They're both being bozoful.
They're so arrogant. They defend like they're the best defender ever. Then they don't need to try hard, and he can just. I will never forget Rudiger running silly against Japan last World Cup, and then conceding the very next play. I think that's a Rudiger, certified Rudiger moment, right? So yeah. Damn. Yeah. It's not a good Germany team. But that being said, I don't want to face them with Brazil. There's too many traumas going on.
Brazil would beat the living lights out of these guys.
Oh man, you don't know what to say.
Oh, come on, man. They'll beat the shit.
But if they beat Paraguay, they play France next.
And they're gonna lose.
France is just gonna.
Well,
it's gonna be Napoleonic.
That's what I said before. The thing that the Germans were entering this with, like the fans. I mean, they were entering it with a very bad mood, and Germans have a weird confidence thing. It's like if they don't know they're gonna win, they're just completely like doomer pilled. And yeah, they know that if they play France, they're gonna lose. So that's the main.
Napoleonic.
Napoleonic.
Crazy.
Which team? We talked about Ivory Coast, how good they are technically, and how exciting they are. We talked about all the teams here. I think we can move on.
Okay.
To Group F with Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunis. Tunis,
a weird group.
You have done yourself a very big disservice. Another thing that we called, actually, one of our short stocks about this, how Tunis were coming in with a lot of baggage, had problems with the FA, and the team just showed exactly how deep those problems were, because they genuinely...
Firing their manager after the first game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Herbert Renard, he got paid $1 million to manage these 2 games, which is an offer you cannot refuse. But this group should have been an email. I think every team in this group was disappointing.
Every team was
disappointing. I think Sweden, you cannot expect too much from them, but they were also disappointing. In Japan, they were like, they drew both of the good teams, and they beat Tunisia. You can beat Tunisia.
Okay, good. This is a group that we can scoot past quickly. The only thing I have to say, Japan, why I think they did well is because they lost their attack. They lost Minamino, Mitoma, and who else was it? Did Kubo pick up an injury?
Yeah, Kubo didn't play so far.
Kubo, I think, picked up an injury before this game or something. So they're playing with their second attack. That's why I would commend them. I would commend Japan
Okay.
so far. The rest,
I think the only bright spot is Maeda.
Maeda, yeah.
I think Maeda is the bald guy who plays for Celtics.
I think he plays for Celtic, yes.
I think he's such a hard worker off the ball.
Yeah.
He's so good. I really like. I like this type of players who just give their life for the team and just run everywhere, just do everything. So I don't think it's Maeda his name. I'm not remembering his name. I'm not good at Asian names.
Taitsen Maeda.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was right.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was should have been an email. Should have give the fans back their money, the $5,000 they pay to go watch any game in this group. FIFA should just reimburse the fans. I'm sorry, this is not football. It is about. And I think this could be one of the groups where every team is eliminated the next round.
Yeah, possible.
Sweden's not going to beat France. Japan's not going to beat Brazil. Netherlands might be Morocco. Of course, they are still Netherlands. And the guy that makes you hate football, Cody Gakpo, is playing well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they also can lose to Morocco. They conceded to Tunis, so it's ridiculous.
What did I want to say? Oh, I wanted to say Elanga, the game, did you see him after the game against Japan? Because Sweden were attacking, he scored that goal and they had chances to win. After the game, he falls on the floor and he's hitting the floor and he's going crazy. It's because he thought
I saw it. He thought they were eliminated.
They thought they were eliminated, even though Graham Potter came out and said we told them already that, a draw is enough for us to go through. But yeah.
And how did also Elanga fake possible, right? He's also I group him with Iran Kunda, one of these players that's such a pleasure to watch. He had one of the best dribbles, I think, in the first round in the World Cup, where he just nutmegged the defender in the box, and he scored an amazing goal against Japan. But he's also so infuriating. You always want to shake him, dude, just play better. You can do it. He's fast. He's a good dribbler. Uzbekistan just scored on Congo.
No way.
Yeah,
his story.
Right now.
That's so funny. Hold on, before we move on, I think his also one thing I want to say about Elanga is that his what is it called? Thing he puts on his head. Maybe it's a bit too tight. Maybe he needs to take it off.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting off circulation to his brain. The headband, yeah. Headband's too tight. Belgium, Egypt, Iran, New Zealand.
Iran was true. I don't think their chances are looking too good. They had that goal in the last minute against Egypt that would have guaranteed them.
Insane game.
And it's amazing game. Again, I should thank you. I was watching Belgium, New Zealand, and when you sent in the group chat that the Egypt-Iran was a great game, I switched. I don't have the Gen Z ability to watch two games at the same time, so I just picked one. And amazing game. And again, this is a group where New Zealand, I think, to their capacity, played well.
Yeah.
I think their best chance of winning was against Iran, and Iran's best chance of winning was against New Zealand.
Yeah.
And they played
and that
well,
was a great game. That was a great game as well.
That was a great game. Belgium, dude, what's wrong with Belgium? I know they finished first in this group, but it doesn't feel like it.
Let's save. Actually, you know what? No. Let's talk about them because I fucking hate. Let's get the negativity out of the way, man. I hate Belgium so much. We both hate Belgium, and I hate them more because I gave them. I don't know why I gave them half a chance in my rankings. I wish I just stuck to my gut, which is putting them down there because they're useless.
They ranked at number 8.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I should be shot in the streets. This team's...
That's why people throw tomatoes at you on the street.
Yeah, because of my Belgium. Because of our ranked Belgium. Okay, what did they do against Egypt? Against Egypt, it was 1-1. That game, Egypt deserved to win, honestly. I genuinely think they were the better team. Okay? Yeah. Belgium against Iran, 0-0. Unbelievable. Against Iran, they won 0-0.
Horrible game.
It was a horrific game. Iran wanted to defend, and Belgium couldn't do anything because they suck. And then they beat New Zealand 5-1 because Trossard scored a bunch of goals.
Great player, Trossard. The only guy in Belgium that seems to be able to do something.
Yeah, because Trossard has a different mentality than all of them. Honestly, that's what I put it down to. He has a really good mentality. Trossard always believes that he should score, should assist, he's like cutting, he's very cutting. He wants to be at the end of things. That's the opposite of every single person on the squad. Everyone is so like relaxed. Maybe what's the word like I'm looking for? The opposite of cutting.
Arrogant.
Docile. No, docile. Like docile. A cat. Yeah, they're like God. Cats. They're like cats. Like wait.
If somebody ever called me docile, I would.
They're docile. Honestly, they're docile.
And Doku, I love watching Doku, but whenever he gets past 6 men, I just close my eyes so I don't have to deal with the reality. But whenever Doku gets the ball ahead of the player, in front of the player, I'm just like, okay, Doku, let's go. And then he beats him, and I just close my eyes. And then I just wait for the commentator to say, oh, ball on the goalkeeper's hand. Oh, and the defense kicks away, and then I open my eyes again, and I just ignore what happened. But I love Doku, but man,
he doesn't have the quality, man.
No,
he scored like in the run-in for City against Arsenal. He scored 2 insane goals from outside the box, curling finesse into the other, and I got so angry because I knew, what the hell are you doing? You don't have that. You're lying. What the hell do you? You know what he did? He scored. He scored it. He scored against Everton. It was the last minute. They salvaged a 3-3 draw, and he shushed the Everton fans. What the hell is going on through your head? That's the second goal you scored all season, and it's an insane goal. Why are you shushing people? You stink. You can't finish. And this is the proof. This is what's happening right now to you. This is what you get. You can't score against Iran and New Zealand. This is what you can get. This is what's happening, Doctor.
No, he scored against New Zealand.
He did? No, he didn't.
Did he? Oh, no, he didn't.
He didn't score. Anyway, Belgium, I hate you. Courtois, by the way, has been stinking as well.
Yeah.
That's why.
And anything to say about Egypt?
Yeah, we move on because I think they've been the best team in this group. Last thing, Courtois is going down, and I said it before that I think Raya is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe, and he's going up. And Spain aren't using them because Spain are idiotic. They're putting Unai Simon. But next season, 2 seasons, I think Raya is gonna be the guy who's on the top in goalkeepers for Europe. Let's talk about Egypt. And I was wrong about Egypt. You were right. Because I didn't see this level of just this level of performance. They're doing now what Egypt does all the time, with the exception of the last time they got into the World Cup where they played really bad. I want to talk about Imam Ashur, who scored against Belgium. He's been so good. He's been technically so good, and he's giving them a really. Again, when you have a player up front who's technically good and he can combine with other really good technical players, you have a basis to hurt other teams, and he's giving them that basis. Mohamed Salah is playing much better than he did at the end of the season, where he was really bad for Liverpool. He's playing. It's concentrated. Everything is concentrated. He has a goal, and he has a space to occupy in the attack, which is the right side of the penalty box, not too outside, so he doesn't always have to go at the full back, more on the defender. And then Marmoush, I don't think he played well the first 2 games, and he was substituted by Mohamed Trezeguet, who I think honestly should start, because Trezeguet is technically more secure than Marmoush. Even Marmoush has a better pace, but Trezeguet, the team. I think the team just performs a bit better with him, and the guy who's a level below them but has put himself adequately well is Mohamed Zico, who scored.
Don't you dare say anything bad about Zico.
No, who scored the.
Don't you dare.
He scored a really good goal against who was it? Was it against New Zealand? He scored a header. The New Zealand game was once they were losing 1-0 and they were the better team. In the second half they changed everything. This was like the changing point for this team, like the flash point.
Yeah.
They needed to play well in the second half, and they played really, really well in the second half. It could have been 4 or 5-1 here. And the move also.
Yeah, I think the World Cup rewards managers that have the gut to abandon anything that's not working and embrace anything that's working. And I think that game against New Zealand, the Egyptian manager, I forget his name.
Hussam Hassan, who is he's a legend.
The all-time goal scorer. Yeah, and I think he did that, and it shows. Listen, I would root my life for anything that's slightly black and red and has a guy named Zico. So, Brazil, Egypt is my heart in this World Cup.
Well, Brazil and Egypt are pretty much, I would say, they're the exact same country in so many ways. Just the type of people it's just it's things you see in Brazil.
Are Egyptians incredibly gorgeous and happy?
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was gonna say that I've seen like a big gorilla in a suit walking around the street behind a Pikachu so many times in like things around Egypt, and that's the same exact thing that you could see coming out of Brazil.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what the exact same level of randomness in both countries, and they both love football. There's so many comparisons, but what I want to say is that I just really like this team. Mohamed Hani, this guy is so good. I said it before. I said that he was going to be one of their best players. He's really, really good. I hate the fact that English commentators say Hani. Why? It's Hani. It's so easy to say. Anyway, Shabir at goalkeeper. Again, you think about Shenawi, who's been a really good goalkeeper in this like period. This guy might be better. Mustafa Shabir might genuinely be better. He's been so good. He's been so many great saves. In midfield, I think Atiyah has been so good. Marwan Atiyah has been so good for them. And next to him, Mohamed Lashin, who's going to miss, unfortunately, he's going to miss the next game for them. Again, he's been good, I think, but Atiyah has been the standout here. What do I want to say?
And I think playing for a team like Al Ahly, which most of the players here play, is... In the prediction video, I talked a lot about domestic leagues, and I think that's incredibly important because it's 4 years, World Cup 4 years, and there's so much pressure in Al Ahly. And now with Pyramids, which is a recent team, has been putting a lot of money, and they have such a demand for perfection and for titles and for winning. I think it really makes them ready to play in the World Cup.
Definitely. That's probably the biggest reason why Egypt are always super competitive. The pressure in Al Ahly and Zamalek and all these big teams in Egypt is like it's insane. It's insane. It's honestly.
If I'm not mistaken, Al Ahly is the team that has the most titles worldwide.
Yes, they have the
national
most
leagues and international leagues.
They're the winningest team ever.
Yeah. So playing for a team like that and come to the World Cups, it's just, of course, it's not going to be just a walk in the park in the terms of pressure, but it's also not going to be something that you don't have to deal with.
Yeah, they're ready. Pressure-wise, they're always ready. And also just Egypt from a infrastructural footballing way, you have to commend them. The way they set up their teams always is very, very well. The support system for the team is is very well done. And they had to change some things from AFCON and from the recent years and tweak a little bit things. I think they've done it pretty well here, and they have a really good game coming up against Australia, where they're probably they're the better team. They're the better team. Obviously, they can lose, but they're the better team as well. Okay. Final thing, Iran fought valiantly, is what I'll give them, which is why I pushed them up a bit before the World Cup, because of the situations they're living through, and they kind of showed that they were throwing themselves everywhere. Against
it was
Egypt.
my favorite team to watch.
Yeah.
In this group stage, just so much heart, so much desire.
Yeah.
The opposite of Belgium.
The exact opposite of Belgium. Belgium.
The exact opposite of Belgium.
Are evil, by the way. Evil on earth is Belgium. Good on earth is Iran. And we can move on to Spain, Cape Verde.
Oh no, not this group.
Yeah, this group. This group where you're gonna get whooped. I've been saying this for years, and this guy refuses to listen to me. And it's coming to bite you in the most significant way. South American football has been in super decline for so many years. And you think it's because I don't watch. I watch Copa Libertadores. I watch the leagues. There's badness in there. It's bad. They don't move the football fast enough.
I think Uruguayan football is completely outdated. It has been outdated for 20 years now. But now we got to a point with VAR and more cameras, more reviews, that the Uruguayan style of football just doesn't make sense anymore.
They play like thugs. They've always played like thugs.
Yeah.
It's like you cannot love football and support this. I mean,
Argentina used to be like that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and they still have some players that are like that, but they moved to a more technical, more tactical, smarter way of playing.
Yeah.
Brazil was never like that, but we also moved away. Colombia moved away from that. Ecuador moved away from that. I think Uruguayan football just stopped in time since 1970.
I can tell by their faces. Yeah, I can tell from their faces that Uruguayans are the most stubborn people on earth, and if you want to tell someone in the FA to change the way that they want to play, they're not gonna listen to you. And it shows why the way this team plays, they're so bad. I couldn't believe you put them so high, and I saw them. I knew I wasn't crazy in thinking that they're bad. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it. Because these guys can't pass. There were times that these people against Saudi are so bad, by the way. Saudi are bad. Saudi are bad. They're just a little bit better than
the draw against Cape Verde is just ridiculous.
And Cape Verde are better than Saudi, but they're they're the worst African team. And in that game, the Cape Verde against Uruguay game, it's just
Uruguay should have won this game, but also Muslera, I think he was retired before the World Cup, and then Bielsa asked him to come back, and it shows why he retired. And we are talking about Egypt, right? And we said how in a World Cup it benefits managers that are willing to abandon anything that's not working. And Bielsa is the exact opposite, right? We said he's your favorite manager, and he is tactical. He cannot handle a group. There were revolts in the locker room, even before the World Cup. With his decision to not call Suarez, and the things Suarez said, and the thing Valverde said. Valverde is turning out to be a terrible locker room presence.
Yeah, he's a cancer.
National team and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And I still stand by my ranking of the players, but I don't want to put all the blame on Marcelo Bielsa and Muslera, but I'm going to put all the blame on Marcelo Bielsa.
It's not their fault. No. Let's nip it in the bud. That's not their fault. This team has problems. The players.
The team has problems.
No. The players have serious technical issues. Ugarte can't pass. I've said that before. That he cannot pass. He's not a good football player. How many times do I have to say this? Have a guy like this. Compare it to Frank Kessie and Ugarte. Compare the two players, please, right now. Frank Kessie and Ugarte. Frank Kessie isn't like less than a quarter physically of Ugarte, but he's technically so much better. And look what that does to you for a midfielder. When you have a guy who can pass, who knows how to stand, who knows how to move his body.
But we said that Ugarte should be at best a center back.
No, at best,
I don't know why
at best he should be a water boy. That's what at best he should be. Seriously, that's at best what he should be. That's honest, I'm not even joking. Valverde plays, he plays like your Captain Tsubasa for Uruguay. He's not that player. He doesn't have the ability to be that player. He isn't. He's a shuttling midfielder. You can't have a shuttling midfielder as like this, the point of your diamond. Or like the moving force of the team. That's not what he is. He just doesn't. He's a moments. Yes, he has moments of really good technical ability. He does. He definitely has a high technical ability and things like that. But as a whole, when you're playing for 90 minutes, that's not his game. He cannot control a game. He doesn't have the technical ability to control games. And Bentancur, old injured man. Okay, this is Bentancur. I can tell he has a bad back.
Technically.
Yeah, he's good technically.
So good.
He's good technically, but he has a bad back.
He's Larry Bird.
Larry Bird, yeah. And
I think they miss Arrascaeta a lot. He
yes.
got injured against Estudiantes in the Libertadores, and he was going to be the one guy who can break lines, who can control the tempo, who can find passes, and of course his creativity was severely missed. But I don't know, man. It's just outdated. I think Canobio is such a horrible player, but also good at the same time. He's very hardworking. He's always pressing, but he just doesn't have the level head of doing that normally, right? Just doing that as a job. You know, just your job is to press, your job is to find spaces, your job is to run behind the defense. He just plays like a madman. I don't know, I think it's easily the most disappointing team in the World Cup. They should have been Saudi, they should have been Cape Verde, and they should have given Spain a better game. But
at the end of the game, they were just trying to injure Spanish players. I believe they
did. They injured Nico.
Succeeded. Yeah, they succeeded in injuring Nico Williams.
And he deservedly called De La Cruz out, who plays for Flamengo.
Yes. Which
was very well deserved. And apparently Muslera asked to be subbed out in this game at halftime. It was his decision, was not Bielsa's decision, which is like 2 games too late. He was awful. We talked about in the prediction video. The prediction video was by the end of the first round of the group stage. And we were saying how this is a goalkeepers World Cup, right? And we had amazing performances by Vozinha from Cape Verde, who was stinking against Uruguay. In the game against Uruguay, he went back to his actual level. And Muslera was just worse than Vozinha throughout the whole tournament. It's just horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah, they stink.
And I think Spain now doesn't have a fit winger. I think it's just gonna kill them the rest of the World Cup. And Cape Verde, dude, congratulations to Cape Verde.
Congrats.
What
Congrats to Cape Verde. There was I saw the celebrations at Cape Verde and for the team as well. It's a great achievement. Yeah, and they're gonna play against Argentina next, which is also gonna be just a really nice time for them to play.
Send off.
Yeah, a nice send off.
Pleasure for a historical World Cup. Here's Lionel Messi.
Yeah. I don't think we have anything even to say about Spain. Honestly, you have anything to say about Spain? They're just like they're not that
disappointing.
Yeah, they're just a bit disappointing.
I think it's a team that lacks so many important positions. They don't have a striker now. They don't have a winger. Of course, they have Lamine Yamal, who is just an amazing player, but he's coming back from injury. Rodri, I just don't rate him that highly at all. I think he's very good in a team that wants to control possession, but I think that is also fading out. I remember seeing a stat where the highest possession teams also got the worst results in the first two rounds of the World Cup.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I don't see them going that far. It depends on their bracket.
Okay. Saudi, disappointing. Not even worth talking about, honestly. Just
Not even.
France, Norway, Senegal, Iraq. France, honestly, just let's look. What? Put the croissants in the bag, okay? Just okay.
Scary. This French team is just scary.
They're just too good.
Such a good team.
There's nothing even to say about them. They're just too good.
No, we don't need to talk about Saudi because of how bad they are. We don't need to talk about France because of how good they are. They dominated every single game. And in the one game against Senegal that looked like Senegal was... It was 2-0 France and Senegal scored and it looked like, okay, Senegal's going to do something. Mbappe just ended the game from a crazy shot and just like, okay, game over.
Yeah, that game against Senegal in the first half, like it was an even game, and then they changed things in the second half. I think Olise became more of a focal point. I think Dembele was the focal point, and then it changed to Olise. And I genuinely think it should always be Olise because he's just a better creator. He's a better creator than Dembele.
And we're talking about pragmatic managers, and we said how we wish the Champs would do more with this team, but also what he does is perfect for the World Cup, right? He's just so... Okay, we have Dembele, which a lot of managers could go, oh, he's the best player in the world, he got the Ballon d'Or, we should focus on him, but no, let's start focusing on Lise. Let's start doing things a little bit different. I think he's a perfect manager for a World Cup format. I was extremely disappointed in Norway because they went with their backups against France. They didn't even fight for the first place in the group. It's just such a stupid mentality.
Norway, like you were saying, it's just super disappointing how they set up against France.
Which is a worrying mentality because I think, again, we were talking about how Uruguay style of football is becoming outdated. I think a great part of the good part of their mentality is always like, okay, we are a small country. We don't have as many players as Brazil, as Argentina, so we need to fight twice as hard to get a result. And I think that's the one thing that keeps a country with 1.5 million players. We can always have a player of them being world class, right? Valverde, Suarez, Cavani, Forlan. We can go back by the decades and we're gonna find 2, 3, 4 names of Uruguayan players. And I think it's thanks to that. So seeing this Norway team just being like, okay, France is hard, we're just gonna give up. It's like, dude, why do you play for? What do you play for? What's your point? Why are you alive if you're not gonna face life's greatest challenge with a passion? You know, I think it's such an honor to play against these friends, right? As a football player, as a man, you want to go against the past. You want to look at France. You want to look at Mbappe and go like, dude, you might destroy me. He's the best player in the world right now in performances, right? In results, let's say. So I want to play against Mbappe. If you want to call me up right now, 33 years old with a nose problem, can barely breathe straight, and you're like, do you want to play against Mbappe? I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. You know, and seeing Norway just be like, it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
And
yeah. I don't.
Senegal. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I hope they just lose terribly against Ivory Coast. Honestly, they have.
Oh please.
Yeah,
please.
They gained an enemy. They gained a footballing enemy in me. I really kind of felt, honestly, Haaland. He kind of gave me the flat track bully vibes, like, you know, the guy that I don't know how to describe it. Like, I know he's a great.
Oh, you're Iraq. Okay, let's play hard. Your friends in.
Yeah, but even when he played, like choosing to go to City, you know, that choice of City. You know something that's interesting? Declan Rice
But
talked.
didn't his father play for City?
Yeah. His father plays for City and he was born in Manchester. But I kind of put it to the side. Like, Declan Rice talked about this. Both City and Arsenal were in for him that summer. He was talking to both of them, and it didn't even come down to the contracts or anything. He just said that if I go to City and I win all those titles, I don't know how I'd feel versus if I won maybe less but at Arsenal, you know? I don't know if that was what was the thinking behind Haaland going to City, but there's a part of me that thinks that he has a bit of that flat track bully type thing, like especially when
He's Belgium.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that when he was going up against Gabriel and Saliba for the majority of the time really had control over him before he started scoring in a couple of last matches. I don't know, something tells me that I don't know. I can't put my finger on it because it's difficult to say that he's not a top level competitor because he clearly is. Let's see how this World Cup goes. Senegal, a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
That game against Norway.
They played very well against Iraq, but also it's Iraq. Disappointing for sure.
It was the game against
But
Norway.
It's not hugely disappointing because I think against France they played well, especially in the first half. But then the problem when the game gets to the second half, you start to subbing players out, and France can sub players of the same level of the players they're taking out, and Senegal can't. So I think that was the bigger difference that game.
Yeah.
And
it was
the game against Norway.
That was the one.
Is also disappointing, but are they going through? Are they guaranteed to go through?
I think they are, right? Because
they scored a lot against Iraq.
Because of this sport, the goals they scored.
Yeah, their goal difference.
What I would say here is that the game against Norway, Haaland truly his presence really affected Senegal, and Norway took full advantage of Haaland's supremacy here because it was I think it was an even game, honestly. But yeah, this is a game where we said when we were ranking Norway and the team isn't really that great. This is actually a pretty good example. Senegal are probably overall better than Norway, but Haaland won them the game.
They got Haaland. Yeah. Pretty much.
Iraq, good job, guys.
Yeah, not much to talk about. What you're going to do.
Hussein, that was a nice header.
France, Norway, and Senegal. It's
yeah.
Maybe they had Muslera in front of them. They could have done better. But,
Better luck next time, Iraq. Argentina, Austria, Algeria, Jordan. Jordan, there's not much to say here. They have they have one of the worst teams.
Quality issue.
Yeah, but it's very good that they got here. As I said, 2025 was a really good footballing year for them. And there are other things, the fact that Jordan hosts and Jordan and Palestine are they're very, there's a lot of Palestinians living in Jordan, and there's a lot of Palestinian people that call themselves Jordanian. So that's the biggest crystallizing issue there. Algeria, disappointing. Austria, boring as hell, but they beat Jordan. and Argentina, amazing, absolutely amazing in every way.
No, unreal. I remember the first game. The commentator, the game just started, right? And the commentator was like, "Oh, Messi's now 39 years old. This is probably his World Cup." And I remember thinking, I think that should get me a diploma to hang on my wall. Stupid. I was like, okay, he's 39. He's probably not gonna carry Argentina this World Cup. They're gonna need other players to show up. And then he just scored a hat trick, and then he just scored 2 goals the next game, and Argentina has 5 goals, and he has 5 of them. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, the first 2 goals are Zidane's fault. Okay, he's horrible. He's truly horrible. The last goal is just a great Messi goal. The first 2 goals are straight up on the Algerian Muslera. But God, what a player Messi is. He's just Jesus Christ, what a player.
Yeah, we said it's going on like it's. If you talk to someone and he says to you anything other than Messi for who is the best player to ever play, just end the conversation. You know they're not talking. You know they're not going to talk anything good about football. I genuinely think Argentina here are playing better than they did in 2022 in the group stage.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
I was going to say that. It feels like the team around Messi is better.
Yeah, it is. I think they're just slightly technically a bit better. They're missing. I think they're still missing Di Maria. McAllister. It's so funny. McAllister had a horrific season for Liverpool. He had a horrific season for Liverpool, but he's been playing well. He's actually been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
And Enzo Fernandez.
But this is something I remember saying, that South American players, they normally play better for the national team than they do in clubs.
Yeah, they do. Enzo had a decent season for Chelsea, and he's playing really well here. Martinez was pretty much just injured and okay for United. When he came back from injury, he's been playing really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there are 2 Martinez.
No.
There are 3 Martinez.
Sorry, I mean
Lisandro.
Lisandro Martinez. What do I want to say about this team? Other than the fact that Messi is really good, DePaul is a bit. DePaul is a liability on the ball. I think he's the one guy that he's actually genuinely on the ball liability. Off the bench, I don't like Nico Gonzalez. I think his level is not there. It's just not there. So it's gonna.
Yeah, I think he's a downgrade for sure.
And however,
Leandro Paredes is incredible.
Yes,
Paredes is really like him.
Paredes is really good. Julian Alvarez to come off the bench is really, really good because he offers something different.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's wild and good because he offers something other than Lautaro Martinez, yeah. Let's just say Lautaro easier. He offers something better than Lautaro because Lautaro is more of a, he's more of a typical striker than Julian, who's more of a shadow striker, like number 10. But Lautaro is doing a lot of the running for Messi, which is really good to see.
But that's something Lautaro done his whole career. He's always been an incredibly hard-working player.
Yes.
And I was talking about Canobio, how Canobio cannot do what he does as a job. Lautaro does what he does as a job.
Yes.
Right? His job is to press, his job is to run, his job is to show up. And you never see him angry and punching and kicking people. He's just like, okay, my job is to press and run and do everything. And it's scary to say because if Brazil and Argentina play, it would be in the semifinal. Unfortunately, it should be a final. But yeah, I think that this team, at least comparing stage to stage, they are playing better than the 2022 team.
Yes, they are.
I think they got better players. Of course, the only hole is Di Maria, which you cannot replace with Almada. You cannot replace with anyone. Di Maria is one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing.
One guy that I'm kind of disappointed that we haven't seen yet, we're probably going to see in this next upcoming game, is Nico Paz, who I genuinely thought maybe could be the spark off the bench, I'm not tuned in. I'm not super tuned in about the tactical requirements that are probably going to be in the face of someone like Nico Paz for him to be helpful, You know, because maybe that's the one thing stopping the fact that he's not playing. You know, because maybe he's not ready to take up all those tactical things that's needed to play for this team or maybe he can't play at the same time as Messi, right? But he has
change positions, brother. Change nationality.
Yeah, exactly.
At least he's young, right? He's gonna have time.
I want to see how they might maybe use him. Maybe down the line, maybe he's gonna be something in the later stages. Apart from that,
I think Scaloni shows he's a guy that prefers older, experienced players.
Yeah, that's.
So they got Barco there, who was amazing for Boca. They got Nico Paz, but I think knowing Scaloni from what he showed that he's a guy that he prefers older, experienced, calmer players. Maybe he doesn't have to explain that much. Maybe he can give them more freedom. But the Argentinian team, it is an older team.
Yes.
Right? It is a team of players in their 30s. At least the starters, right? But yeah, Messi, dude, what a player.
Yeah, Messi's amazing. And I know there's going to be a game like a knockout game where he's going to be playing. I genuinely, I can't see a difference between the way he's playing now and 2022. Can you?
No.
It's crazy that he didn't even drop in these 4 years, because his level dropped since 2022 and before it dropped, obviously. But it hasn't actually dropped from 2022 to now, which is insane.
I think winning that World Cup in 2022 gave him the freedom to be like, okay, I'm going to go to the US. I'm just going to basically play soccer on the weekends like an average dad who loves the sport. Which is basically what he's doing in the MLS, and he's killing everybody. And I'm just going to show up to the World Cup at my physical best.
Yes.
Because I don't have that requirement in the league, right? Which I talk about a lot about domestic league for the players, because if there's one guy that doesn't need it, it's Messi, right? And Argentina is going to go with their backups against Jordan. So we're going to see a little bit of Nico Paz, we're going to see a little bit of Valentin Barco. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think for them, they should play their best, because it's their one chance they're going to get to show, okay, maybe we're not going to see them.
No, this is predicted only. It's not.
This is predicted, okay. Yeah. Because it's the one game they have to show Scaloni, like, listen, we can help. Right? But again, even this reserve team
is good. Of
course, wouldn't be one of the favorites, but it's good. It's a good team.
It's a good team. It's a good team because all these guys have technical and tactical. They're very good technically and tactically, and they're very.
But if you see, it's an older team too.
Yeah.
Otamendi is 50. Tagliafico is old. Montiel is old.
Wait,
Paredes is old.
Tagliafico? Oh my God, Tagliafico is 33. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I thought he would be older. Okay.
Yeah, this is a good team, honestly.
It's a good team. It's a
a really good team. Let's.
And Scaloni said that Messi is gonna come on the game at some point.
Okay. Well, I believe before the game he said he wanted to start.
He wanted to play to keep his fitness level.
Yeah, he wanted to keep his fitness level. So, the other teams in the group, I don't have much to say about Austria. They beat Jordan and they lost deservedly. It's almost like automatic here. There's nothing about this team that's special. Algeria, almost similarly, they're gonna play now against Austria. This should be the best game for either of them to test each other. I mean, for us to understand what's gonna happen. You know.
I think for a draw, I think it's similar to Paraguay and Australia. I think a draw benefits both of them. Austria goes through as the second place, and Algeria goes through as one of the best third places. And let me just make sure. Yeah, with 4 points, Algeria goes through.
Yeah,
knocks out South Korea.
So what I would say is
it has a risk of being a boring game if they settle for that, but we will see.
what I would say is Algeria have not covered themselves in glory, because this game against Jordan, it really shouldn't have been close, but it was close. Gouiri finally scores, and in the 82nd minute, and he won them the game. But this attack should be doing better. Like Chalby is good, Matza is good. Ait Nouri
has been their only bright spot.
Yeah.
Him going forward has been amazing.
So let's see what they're gonna do against Austria. Austria are, again, they're really like kind of solid, but they're not impressive enough, you know. Before the World Cup, Paul Werner, a lot of people were talking about him, but the little I've seen of this guy, I just don't think he's good enough. Honestly, I know I think he played well. Yeah, he played well in the Eredivisie. He was more deeper. I think he plays deeper for
PSV.
PSV, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's click this game and see if I'm right from the few times I've watched him. Yeah, he plays DM. Yes. So, and he plays higher for Austria, but he's just not that creative. Honestly, it's not his game. Grigoric, actually, I kind of seen him do a couple of good things. He's very tall. That's okay. And Schmidt, he's been playing forever. He's all right. And
Sabitzer also.
Yeah,
not much from him.
Yeah, this game against Algeria should be. That's where they got. Their defense is pretty good, honestly. Leimer, Alaba, Danso, and Posh. That's good.
Yeah.
Alaba can be got at, but he's actually kind of used his experience to minimize that. And Danso has the physical capabilities that Alaba doesn't have at this stage. To kind of.
Yeah, kind of like Danilo for Brazil. He's smart enough. He's been around the block.
Yes.
He knows how to beat you with angles and body position and brain power. But I don't know. I hope Algeria goes into the game thinking we need to win, even though a draw suffices, because it's going to be a good test for both of them.
Yes.
Really.
Group K: Colombia, Portugal, Uzbekistan, and Congo. Well, here's my one word for each of them. Congo.
Terrible.
Forehead. Visa. Remember, he has a huge forehead. Uzbekistan. Unbelievable what they're doing right now.
Them winning a game is just crazy, dude.
They're winning.
Especially because if Congo won, they will go through as a third place team. They'll get 4 points. And they're losing to
This is actually unbelievable. They're losing against Uzbekistan. However,
it was a beautiful goal.
Shumardov,
when you have time, go watch the goal.
He's a guy we mentioned. Yeah, obviously a really good player. Wait, did we mention Shumardov? Yes, I did mention him. Played for Roma.
Yeah.
He's a really good player. And there's nothing actually to say about Uzbekistan. They've literally just defended and just tried to. One of the things they said about Uzbekistan about themselves coming in is that we're trying to play well so we can get kids to play football in Uzbekistan. That's one of their goals.
Get what? Get kids to play.
Yeah, get kids to play, like interested in the sport. What do I have to say about Portugal?
Disappointing first game, but second game they played a lot better. And this game against Colombia is their real test.
So Colombia, I mean, these guys, I can't have a good, idea about Colombia. Like
I think they played amazing.
Against who?
I think they have been very good. Against Uzbekistan, the first game was also the weaker team. And against Congo, the beginning of the first half was unreal. Colombia could have finished the first quarter of the game since Infantino started football into the game. They could have finished the first quarter of the game up 3-0. they were unreal. But of course, the energy levels dropped, and Congo got into the game, and Colombia had to find a win, which they did. Mpasi, I think is the name of the Congolese goalkeeper. He was playing very well. But I really like this Colombia team. Luis Diaz is unreal as a player.
Okay.
John Arias is unreal as a player. Hammer Rodriguez is playing the only competition he likes. He hates football. He probably hates football, except for the World Cup, and it shows. And Juan Fernando Quintero, who comes off the bench because him and James cannot play together.
Yeah.
They're both too slow.
Yeah.
What a player Quinteros is. What a player Quinteros is.
Tero, man. This guy. I just look.
Unreal. He's unreal. If you never watch his goal against Boca in 2018 to win the Libertadores for River in Madrid, go watch his goal and look for Argentinian commentators. It's just such an amazing comment line. But what a player. I love Quinteros as a player. I've been a fan of him for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they suffer the same problem as Ecuador. Suarez is not very clinical, which wastes a lot of their chances. But I think they have an amazing team. Daniel Munoz has been unreal. He scored the winning goal against Congo. He has been unreal. Lerma, Puerta, James, Luis Diaz, Mojica, Camilo Vargas. I don't think I was as high as Colombia before the World Cup as I am now after seeing them in the group stage. I was kind of high on them, but this group stage has just convinced they are very, very dangerous team.
I guess the only thing I would say that I don't know is because like what you said is correct about the beginning of the Congo game, but then the game kind of tailed off, you know? Like it just kind of went down. And then I guess Uzbekistan, I just can't form any opinion, honestly. I can't say much.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I would say, but I agree with everything else you had to say. I like the players on this team. I like their technical level, and I like that they're good defensively. Like they have good defenders, I mean. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what these guys do, honestly. They're an interesting team. I want to speak about, you said Congo are the worst. However, their game against Portugal, I think they did what the perfect...
No, Uzbekistan is the worst.
Yeah, Uzbekistan. No, I mean, Congo just played, you said they played bad, I mean. But,
okay, yeah.
What I just want to say is the way they played against Portugal is like the perfect storm of Congo, you know? They're just a hyper defensive team that can score because of individuals that have the ability, which is Vissa, basically. Vissa had a horrific season, horrible season. He's the only guy that scored for them, but he comes in and with that huge forehead. Have you watched Alien? You know the movie? I mean, that is unbelievable. What the power he must be able to generate. And I love that goal. I love that goal so much because Portugal were pissing me off that game, man. That game, like before they did what they did to Uzbekistan, defined Portugal for me because they were so arrogant when they were playing Congo. They're like, we scored, we're gonna score. Let's move the ball slowly, blah 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 blah, and they do their typical Portuguese arrogance. I don't care, Zlatan. I don't give a crap if you say don't confuse arrogance for confidence. No, it's arrogance. It's always arrogance with Portugal, and they deserved to draw that game. And then against Uzbekistan, they moved the ball a bit quicker, and they were able to unsettle Uzbekistan more than they were with Congo. I speak about the Ken toy, CR7. He scored good goals against Uzbekistan, but I'm still not moved. I don't know, man. Just it's not it.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
But he did become the first player to score in 6 straight World Cups.
Yeah, good for him, man. One of those was against North Korea, and the ball was bumping out on Zed. I remember that goal. Remember that goal when it kind of was bumping around and he didn't know where the ball was?
Yeah.
It was against North Korea.
He had to turn. And the ball came to him, right?
Yes.
The ball was behind him and was like, oh, what's happening? The ball came to me. Yeah, I remember that goal.
Yeah. He was trying hard in that
But
World
he
Cup. as well.
scored in 6 World Cups, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna inflate this guy's ego. He inflates his. He does it enough for
I think
himself.
he needs an ego boost. I think he's been a little bit down on himself. He needs.
Portugal, that Congo,
Disappointing.
the Congo performance is what is pushing me that they're not gonna do something. What is happening? Like this game against Colombia is 0-0 in halftime. What's going on in there?
It's been a good game so far. Been chances to both sides. Colombia's playing better.
Okay.
I'm trying to watch that in Uzbekistan and do the podcast at the same time, so my brain is yelling at me so hard right now. But
Okay, so
yeah, I don't see them doing much. We had them ranked highly, especially because of their midfield. But yeah, it's not it. It's not it.
let's see what happens in the knockouts. We can come and revisit if they play against a good thing, and we can either our opinion, is proven right, or maybe they prove us wrong. But let's move
Since we're
on.
talking about editing, can we go back to me talking about Uruguay and have AI replace me saying, though they suck, this team's not going to do anything?
No, we can't. We cannot do
Okay.
this. Not in the budget. Last group, final group. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Panama. Just quick word.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming. You guys weren't actually embarrassing. You're kind of competitive. So thank you. Good job.
Yeah.
Ghana.
There are many ways of finishing 0 points, right? There's the Tunisia way, and there's the Haiti, Panama, and Curacao way. It's just like, you do your best, but the level is just not there.
Yeah. Ghana go on in the best third place teams. They were really good. No, they weren't really good against Panama. They were better than Panama, and they finally scored a goal. And they were incredibly stubborn against England. That was one of the most unbelievable haram ball executions I've seen. They just refused to move out of their Actually, they didn't refuse. They created 2 chances, so that was good enough.
And it should have been a penalty. For me, the most VAR has been, I think, not the only, but I think one of the worst aspects of this World Cup, of all the pitch stuff, has been VAR.
Yeah.
Which the penalty that England committed, the guy just threw himself in the Ghanaian player.
Yeah.
He didn't touch the ball. He didn't do any football play, and that was not a penalty. That was absurd. They should have gotten a result against him. It should have been at least a penalty.
Yeah, give me a second.
So they should have gotten at least a penalty against England, and that creates a different game. But yeah, weird refereeing.
Yeah, weird refereeing. I think they're trying to make the game more physical. They're getting more things going on, but Ezra Konza just jumped into that Ghana player. It wasn't a challenge. He jumped from behind.
Horrible.
Yeah. Let's talk about Croatia. I didn't watch this game against Ghana. Did you watch it? Were they good?
Yeah, I was watching it right now. I think they scored in the last 10 minutes of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was a back and forth game, right? Croatia played better, but Ghana also, I think, had more and better chances. The goal by Suchi was outside the box goal, a great shot. And I don't know, Croatia, they got to the final of the World Cup in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. They got to the semifinals in 2022. And it was never like amazing football, right? We're never going to sit down and be like, okay, fine, let's watch Croatia. But they get results.
Yeah.
And in this type of tournament, that's what matters most, right? So I think they're an incredibly professional team. They just gonna go through phases, right? They're gonna go through the group stage and they're gonna go through the quarterfinals and they're just gonna get results.
Well, I'm gonna say
I don't think
now.
this team is as good as any of them of 18 and 22, but they get results.
I'm gonna say that they're gonna get knocked out. The next team they're gonna play. That's my, because it's just the gif or the meme of you can't keep getting away with it, and these guys can't keep getting.
Yeah, I
away
think this
with
is the year that stops.
Yeah, just whatever pastry I'm trying to think of a Croatian pastry. I can't think of anything, but put whatever pastry you make in the bag, man. Just enough. Enough is enough, man. We need to see some other things, because they basically
Is baklava Croatian?
Baklava is Turkish or Greek, but maybe they have baklava there.
Okay, Google tell me it's burek. Just put the burek.
Yeah, put the burek in the back.
Burek. Put the burek in the back.
Yeah, put the burek in there. Let's talk about England, who I think were very exciting against Croatia. They kind of exercised their demons. Obviously, Croatia beat them in 2018 to get to the final. And they played really well that game. They had a high tempo. Bellingham played well. Kane played well. Then they had a draw against Ghana, but I put it more on Ghana's approach to that game, because I don't think England were really that bad, honestly. And then against Panama,
They also weren't that good, right?
No.
Ghana played very well, but it also wasn't like they were doing miracles to stay in that game.
No.
Right.
They created one chance, and it was the biggest chance. It was the Hurricane misses it.
Oh, the Hurricane shot, yeah.
Yeah, well, can't.
Hurricane and big chances in the World Cup do not match.
You cannot blame Harry Kane, because the witch doctor put the hex on him. So.
True.
Yeah.
We need his contact.
Well, I don't want to contact him at all. I don't want to even see him. I'm scared talking about him right
I
now.
will talk to him.
Okay.
I don't know. I think England is one of the teams that got a huge first game buff. Of like, okay, guys, we need to prove ourselves. First games against Croatia, we need to really show the world what we are about, yada, yada, yada. And they played their hearts out. And then the rest of the World Cup, the rest of the games, like against Ghana, they should have done better. It's a game, even if Ghana sits back 11 players inside the box, they should score, they should beat them. And the game against Panama, it's like they don't really need to try hard to beat Panama.
Yeah, against Panama were actually pretty stubborn in the first. Actually, it was pretty close. Like it was a competitive game. Panama played well in the first half. England didn't create any chances, and then in the second half they broke through with Bellingham and Kane. What I want to say about England is that I think they're probably the team that has the most ability on the bench. Like they have the
More
best.
than France?
No. Sorry, apart from France. France is like I'm not even thinking about them, but like they can put on the most from the bench. This was Saka's first start because Madueke has been starting.
Yeah.
Saka's injured. I think he's still injured, honestly. This guy shouldn't be playing, but whatever.
He should take a year off, honestly.
He should genuinely
take like 6 months off.
Yes, 100%. His career is going to be over before we know it. But anyway, he played really well. He was the best player for England. Like they would give him the ball, and it was almost like give him the ball. Okay, go on, do something. It was kind of like that, and he would always beat his man. He'd put in a ball. He'd do something, and he has an assist this game. He played really, really well.
He's the LeBron James of Jeremy Doku's.
No. He's never as athletic as Jeremy Doku. Never. He was never as explosive as Jeremy Doku. But he's his own. I don't think I can think of even a winger that because he's not that fast. He's just a very high IQ player. So I think Saka needs to start for them to have a very big chance, because there's a very big difference between Madueke and Saka. Madueke has a lot of the physical things that Saka doesn't have. He's very direct. and fast. But you can tell that directness and being fast aren't the main things of making a good player when you see Saka and what he does with the ball and how he positions his body and how he kind of like manipulates the ball, like manipulates the defender, and he's like he shifts his weight. He shifts his weight in half a second and then he gets by his guy without really needing to exert that much explosiveness, you know? And he's really good technically as well, which is something that Madueke isn't. When he beats his man, he doesn't do anything with the ball. However, I do think Madueke has the chance to be effective for them, like late, coming on, because he's gonna put strain on that defender. Then moving on to,
I think as a right back or a left back, at the end of the game, if you see Rashford and Madueke coming out, it's not gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
Not gonna be good.
Speaking of Rashford, he started this game and he played pretty well. What I watched from him, he was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to speak of Harry Kane and Bellingham, who are the kind of the poster boys of the team.
Mm-hmm.
When Bellingham doesn't play well, this team actually doesn't play well. Like he really is like, it sounds like an almost obvious
the heartbeat of this team.
but he's genuinely what moves this team. And when Harry Kane doesn't finish his chances, this team has zero opportunity to win. He really needs to finish his chances, like for them to have any sort of thing. I thought the other players on this team were gonna, share that goal load. I was looking mainly at Rodgers, who had a decent game. I want to see what they do against teams that are maybe gonna be less defensive, Would guys like Rodgers have, the ability to score or help? Because he's a very good player. He's very fast, physical, and he has the ability. He's a good finisher. What else do I want to say? The defense is not. I think the defense is their weak point, honestly. Especially
Kwanzaa and Corsa, they don't. Give me any confidence.
Yeah, well, Kwanzaa played for Bayer Leverkusen. He was a very surprise addition. People thought it should be Trent, but Tuchel believed that what Kwanzaa gives and the vibes, whatever, he thought he was the good choice. Guehi is really good, but something is missing when Guehi and Kwanzaa play. I think sometimes they play Guehi and Stones. I think that's the best one. And then you play Kwanzaa at right back. I think that's the best. And O'Reilly is really good. Technically, he's very good.
Yeah.
And he's tall. Yeah. That's all I have to say about these guys.
Yeah. I think we covered them all.
Yeah, I think we covered every team. And we're gonna hopefully come soon with a prediction on every game coming up. Yeah, after the group stage games finish, we're gonna predict every single game. So keep in tune for that. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Shout out again to Carlo Ancelotti, our biggest fan, and can't wait to do this again.
Bye.